What's happening, everyone? Today we have Gundam Converge EX33, which is, I guess, chassis NZ-333. And this is called the Alpha Azieru. I'm probably not pronouncing that correct, but we're going to go with that. It's the 10th anniversary, and that anniversary apparently happened in 2021. Okay, well, what else is on this box? Some legal stuff is on this side of the box. Usually on, well, alright, still there. Back shot, alright, and then a scene from something, and some stats. Okay, on the box here, 60 meters or so, 128 tons or so, and then a whole lot of thrust. Okay, what is this T, I wonder? I haven't seen this cartoon. Fandom here says this showed up in the movie Charge Counterattack. It is piloted by Quest Pariah and is a powerful new type mobile armor. Let's see what else it says down here. I'd like to read this paragraph here. I'll focus on that for you guys. Experimental mobile armor developed by the Neo Zeon. What else? Descendant of the New Zeal. The cockpit is in the head and features a control interface like the Suzabi, which I don't know what that means. One of the strongest is a manual powerful gun, 2 guns, new type, 9 funnels, like remote controlled missiles or something. Mega arm cannon, 6 Vulcan guns in the head. Okay, that works for me. Let's go back to this toy here. So EX33 comes with some instructions, which I shall keep handy. We seem to have 4, maybe 5 bags or so. And the cardboard is there to protect all the tips from getting broken off. You see here, this little tip, you know. Even though this is PVC, I think that could snap off. Looks like this is going to be a pretty sizable Converge figure here. I need some clippers. What are these? These are on the sprue. Okay, we have a nice stand, it looks like. That's funny. Hold on, I'll show you. This is the first time I've seen the gum sectioned off with all the parts. Usually it's just kind of randomly thrown in the box. 2021, I guess I will chew on this. Why not? I find the gum doesn't last more than 5 minutes though. This little antenna, or whatever this is, you know, be mindful of not losing that. Probably want to glue it in place. The funnels, I'm going to need some clippers. Alright, the stand, this is interesting. It's got holes in it to put other things. And let's see, it wants to come this way, come forward. And it's got this Neo Zeon logo. And it's quite rigid because of that logo. It doesn't want to flex much. Alright. So it's a matte tan color, like a desert storm tan. And you saw this is 2 pieces. Oh, well, okay, I'm glad I pulled that apart. You can actually move the mono eye. There. But it's just a metallic green. There's no like clear optic or anything like that. Alright, so I don't think you really needed to take it out of the head though. Take the head apart to do it. I think they probably did the head as 2 pieces because it's easier to mold or something. Okay, but that's cool. Alright. And so saying add this antenna up here. So is this... I think this is PVC because it's not straight. I might have to dip that in some hot water later, but for this video, just leave it alone. And I guess it is supposed to point backwards this way. I don't know if it's supposed to be raised or not. It's kind of like the way it... maybe like that. That's the way it seems to want to go in. Alright. Slightly seam line. See, it's like gappy. You might want to crazy glue that together if it bothers you. I'll do that another day. Alright, well, it's interesting. It's got these fins, which are also a little bit warped, so maybe put this in some hot water and then hold it in place and bend it all straight again. Alright, next in the instructions it is saying these things have to have these things. That gum has lost its flavor. That has been spit out. Alright, so you just put this round peg into that hole. And I guess it's going to pivot on that peg, I guess. I do question the length of that, though. I think it's going to fall out of whatever it belongs in. This hole is a hexagon, so it doesn't create too much resistance. But it's definitely holding that peg really well. And this is a painted part. It's painted a dark gunmetal. And it's got like, I don't know, it has thrusters in the back or venting details. Maybe they're vents because these are probably guns. They look like a smoke discharger though on a tank. You know, not let that be a different scale tank. Alright, so that is done. And I guess they pop into the whole shoulder assembly. Which, yeah, these can articulate. Let's see what else is on this. So it's got red paint in these little vents here. Underneath we have a really dark gunmetal color. Is this one? No. For some reason I feel like this wants to pop open. Is it? Oh, what do you know? It is a separate piece. Okay, I'll just put it back for now. Little thruster or cannon details, I'm not sure. Little vent details. So, seems alright. So this torso, now we have a cool hose, gunmetal color, running all the way around the thing. Bunch of venting, and I'm not sure what that round thing would be, but pretty nice. It's just nice to see all these weird random shapes on these things. And yeah, painted very well. I like the paint finish on this thing. Huge heat sink radiator here behind the neck. But the neck, oh, that comes out. It's painted again. Yeah, alright. Okay, well, so these little, yeah, so this is questionable, you know, whether or not this is going to hold this hand in there very well. I feel like the peg should be longer. I guess what you could do if you want is just glue that peg into there, because the peg in the hand itself is quite long. So that might be a better solution. Just, yeah. But you see how I clipped it off? So I might have to go back and add some like paint there to cover up that white, or even just a black Sharpie would really help that out. Okay. Yeah, I can't help but think these look like smoke dischargers on a tank. Interesting design, that's for sure. Where's that head? That's supposed to go on here. So we have a hex hole up here. Alright, nice. You can get some head articulation because there's nothing really colliding until the carapace here collides with the neck piece. But a few degrees, not bad. Pretty heavy. So now this is the torso piece, and oh wow, this is cool. Whatever these things are, they spin, as you can see, And this is a really cool engine. This might be the coolest engine I've seen in Converge yet, because it has a central cone. Yeah, if it only had some color. I'm going to have to add some color there later. This actually comes out, I think. Alright. So that'd be easier to paint. I don't know why these white things are so short. I kind of feel like they should be longer. But you can also pull this off too if for some reason you want to paint that something else. Does this... Oh, I see. Yeah, this is the front. Does this come off? I can clearly see it's a separate piece. Well, I think it might... I'm not sure if it's glued or not. I can see it's like a rectangular tab. It would have been cooler if it was a round slot so you can actually flip it up and down, but maybe they felt reliability-wise it wouldn't work. Really cool details on the back side there, and then again red paint and all these little... I don't know if they're thrusters or heat sinks or what. Heat vents. More details there. Yeah, just that little bit is pretty cool. Alright, what attaches it? Let's see, these things do. Whatever these are. Where's another one? There it is. These look like claws, but this is rigid plastic, by the way. These are not soft and bendy. They will snap. Oh, I see. These things go into the bottom of these rotating things. So there's a T shape there, and this goes like this, I think. Like that. Alright, so that's a pretty tight fit. I don't think those are going to fall out very easily. They look like chicken feet. Little chicken feet. Maybe this white thing is supposed to be a handle, because you don't want to pull on this, because I think it might snap. But this is quite strong up here. Alright, now the big booster tank leg kind of things. So, naturally you got this big white section, and that's painted, and then you got red paint in these things here. Maybe, I think they're thrusters. Oddly, there's none down there. And then there's a peg hole there. Little control thrusters. It's hollow. This is, I think, this is rigid plastic. It's not solid PVC. Oh, that's probably what these things go on to. Nope, I'm mistaken. So, where does this go? No, it has to go on. Oh, there's two different sizes. That's weird. I don't know why they would have a left and right. They're totally symmetric. Right? That's weird. They should just have the same size hole, whatever one would be the strongest. Okay, so this one then, yeah, has a bigger hole. It's very strange, some of the decisions. Those chicken feet are funny. They're so small. I guess these are landing gear, according to this fandom. These are supposed to come out here, and it just sits on these tanks, and these are supposed to, you know, bend forward. But they're solid here. There's no articulation, so you can't have it in landing gear like that. But alright, so now what is next? I think this tail piece. And we gotta put on the funnels. This is PVC. See how flexy it is? So that's nice for durability. You can drop that all day long. And it's got the cool thrusters again, like jet engine thrusters. It's got hoses, but no paint for them. Okay, but nice under details. So now I gotta clip all these things off. But let's see if it's white plastic underneath. You know what? I'm gonna do a pre-cut with my more durable nippers. I don't want to destroy my displays. So these are Tamiya nippers. Let me pause, I'll come back. Alright, well, as careful as I was, there's no way around it. You're always going to have a little bit of white showing through because the paint isn't there. You know, that's the gate from the molding process. Sorry, I can't focus on it there. So a lot of them have two, but some of them even have three of these white spots. So I might actually end up repainting those entirely, maybe a different brown just for more contrast, because they kind of vanish here, you know, it's the same tan. So yeah, it's very unsightly. It's so unsightly it bothers me a lot. I was thinking about doing it right now, but no, my camera will probably die. Unfortunately, I think there's a contaminant in the paint right here. This little bump, I don't see it over here. Well, I'll have to leave that alone. Yeah, see, look how big that cut was. Maybe if I put it here, I won't see it as much. And you know, some of these pins seem to be quite tight. Yeah, that one doesn't want to fit that pin. Let's try this one. Yeah, that one fit. So there's some discrepancies in the fitment here. Yeah, this pin is really tight. It looks like it's physically larger than the other ones, which makes me wonder if one of these has a bigger hole than the other ones, which would be silly, I think. Yeah, these things don't really feel like they want to go on so well. Alright, I'm just gonna shove them on here as best I can. So it would be difficult to make that pin smaller. It would be easier to drill out this because you wouldn't see the hole anyways. So I'm gonna have to do that later. But you see, a lot of them just don't want to sit flush. I might have to drill out all of them and maybe glue them in place, because I'm never gonna pose them off of this. But what I suspect though is that stand. 1, 2, 3. There's only 4, 6. I was thinking maybe that's why there are holes in the stand, but that doesn't make sense. No, that's not a tight fit. I still don't know why that stand has holes. Strange. Kind of feel it'd been nice if they gave an extra 1 or 2 of these, because I feel like these would fall off and get lost as well. Alright, it's kind of weird looking right now, but this must go into these things here. Or not. Oh, I see. So I gotta articulate these downwards. So these teeth here can go into that. It's almost like you want to do these legs after. I think you should put these on afterwards, so you can get this thing pressed in there. Yeah, okay, like that. And then this thing goes up in here as well. Or nope, that goes in a different piece. Oh, this is the landing gear for this, I think. Oh, this articulates. Or nope, it doesn't. It's just a separate piece entirely. So this, I feel like you probably want to glue it. Oh, I see. This piece here goes right in there. So both this and this have to go up in here. It's hard with my finger in the way. Hopefully you can see. Maybe tough, but both of those teeth are up in there. So jam that up there. Okay, that's sounded like it locked home. Then I can put this back here. This is very loose. I feel like you might want to glue this, but it's supposed to be a landing gear, you know. I guess in the real cartoon world this would come down as a landing gear, but on this Converge it's just kind of loosely fit to this gray thing. Alright, actually that worked better. Yeah, so now the chicken feet move out of the way a little bit. They kind of fell out of that round thing though. Hold on. I kind of wish these would come off. So dumb. 2 different sized holes. this thing doesn't really want to go in there. Oh, wrong side. Okay. So I think these feet are a little bit loose now. Get that back, and you gotta try to push that in better. It's a little fidgety. Alright, well, that's good enough for the base there. And now the tail, or what is this? Oh, this goes, it's like a backpack. Yeah, I'm gonna have to bend that straight. It says this belongs in it. Where though? If I hold it this way, these go that way. Okay. So it's got a bunch of grooves, but not much else. Kind of a weak detail there. This is nice though, these thrusters, granted there's no paint. This looks like something from like the 2001 Space Odyssey movie. That's what it reminds me of, something Sid Mead would design. Okay, well then this peg here goes here. Oh, and I see these are like supposed to be actuators for that backpack. So it's a giant backpack thruster thing. So now we have a giant peg and hole here. Okay, so, see, one of those funnel things came off, the middle one. I'm not going to put it on now. Let's just get this thing on the stand already. Alright, so there's a big rectangle way up in there. I don't know if that's in there or not. I guess it is. Can't. Well, no, I'm trying to wiggle it further up there. It does have a hole back here as well. Anyways, it stands nicely. I don't think it's going to fall off. I guess you could glue it or use poster putty if it concerns you. My biggest concern is the fitment of these. They're just... Look at that. It's just a disaster. They're just barely on. So I got to drill out these things, and you might want to too if you end up picking this thing up. Okay. Alright, I'm back. I ended up painting those things a little bit silver. I ended up putting heat shrink on the tips and then painting the thing silver, and then I removed the heat shrink so I was able to keep some of that tan of those funnels. And I also dipped this thing in hot water to straighten that out. And a little bit of black. And I also crazy glued that little piece as I was talking about before. That's the extent of the detail that I was willing to do today. It's just a long commitment to add details to these things, so I will do that later. Anyways, as compared to some other things here, I mentioned Sasabi. So here's Sasabi's figure. This is number, oh, this is from a special set, SP01. Okay, so that's a standard size Converge. You can see this is obviously quite a bit bigger. In fact, I'm a little curious how tall this is on the stand in this position, which is pretty much the only way you can display it since it doesn't have any feet. So we got to factor in the tip. It's about 7 inches, a little under 7 inches, a little over 17 centimeters. So, okay. Another thing I'm going to try to get up here is the New Zeal, because it mentioned that as well. And this is really a fantastic Converge, I think. I like this much more. Yeah, I was able to get them up there. So, yeah, you can see the size variation and all that. Oh, another thing I did is I took a drill bit and I drilled out a few of those funnels to fit the larger pegs. So, I think we're going to have to get a lower angle of approach here on this camera, because this angle is just too much in shadow right? So hold on, let me move this camera a little bit like this. Get this in the center of the rotator thing. Good that you can't see all of it. It's pretty hard to get all this stuff. I mean, like, well, on the far end I can see it all. Let's see if this is a good angle. Oh, the tip will vanish. Let's get a flashlight, see what that looks like. Too bright. Yeah, see that stuff behind the head is really hard to see without a light. It's really dark up in there. Maybe I'll add some silver paint to that so I can make the funnels match something. Okay, well I guess that's it for today's Converge video. So I appreciate you checking this one out, and I'll see you in the next time.